Yes, Oliver, thank you. Actually, along Kenyatta Avenue, where the procession has just joined from the processional way, as you can see there in that picture, of course, just being guided by the escorts and, of course, the band marching behind there and the gun carriage that is carrying the body of the late former president is just behind that band that is marching there. And they've just come onto Kenyatta Avenue, and they will take this roundabout at the intersection with the Uhuru Highway before then proceeding on to the Nyayo National Stadium. Earlier, we did see also the presidential escort just leaving leaving State House as well and heading to Nyayo National Stadium as well. So right there is the procession, the cortege, and the gun carriage led by that military band. And they're going to march all the way to the Nyayo National Stadium. This is interesting. They must have been working out to just keep fit for this very long journey of just marching all the way to Nyayo National Stadium. So that is what it looks like right now. Just the turn next to Serena Hotel. Onto Kenyatta Avenue now as they march step by step. They're approaching the roundabout here, the intersection of Uhuru Highway and Kenyatta Avenue before taking the turn and then all the way to Nyayo National Stadium. Kenyans have turned out here in hundreds actually because some of them are not able to go to the Nyayo National Stadium, which we believe is about full to capacity at this moment in time. So a lot of them actually just out here at the roundabout just waiting to see at least the cortege and the gun carriage carrying the body of the late former president. And it's all quiet. Actually, vehicles are being turned away at various positions around the Uhuru Highway and Kenyatta Avenue as well. And then police presence here, very heavy as well, just guarding the sidewalk really to make sure that the procession moves on smoothly. As you see there in your picture, the military band playing music as they lead the procession and the gun carriage there heading on to Nyayo National Stadium from State House and Nairobi. And earlier we did see top of the range vehicles carrying various dignitaries, members of the diplomatic corps, leaders in the country also just driving to Nyayo National Stadium through Uhuru Highway just to be able to be there in time for the arrival of the body and the head of state, the president there. The deputy president, as we saw earlier, already at Nyayo National Stadium, ready to receive the president. And now the body is close to this roundabout at Uhuru Highway and Kenyatta Avenue. It's about to take that turn. Let's just listen into the music. Behind the procession there is the presidential escort where the president is actually trailing the gun carriage and the procession all the way to the Nyayo National Stadium. If you can see that picture, in a moment you'll be able to see the presidential escort with the president Uhuru Kenyatta just escorting this gun carriage and the procession all the way to the Nyayo National Stadium. So that is the military band marching all the way to Nyayo National Stadium. And that is the gun carriage, a special military vehicle carrying the casket and the body of the late former president Daniel Arap Moi. This is a final farewell journey. The state funeral service at Nyayo National Stadium on this penultimate day of what has been 1 week of mourning since the death of the late former president. They are just heading on to Nyayo Stadium. They are actually taking the roundabout now. On the side, if you can see on the side of your picture there, several Kenyans in hundreds actually who turned up here to view the procession as it heads to Nyayo Stadium. So that right there is a gun carriage with the cortege and the casket, the coffin carrying the body of the late former president, and the military band just marching very orderly to the Nyayo National Stadium. They are taking the roundabout, and behind them, like I told you earlier, is a presidential escort. The President Uhuru Kenyatta also just trailing them as they head to Nyayo National Stadium at this moment in time. And this is actually executed in a very meticulous way through planning, as Dennis Okari has been saying earlier. And the band had been marching and holding their practice sessions at Nyayo Stadium, also monitoring this procession as well. That is the presidential escort there. President Uhuru Kenyatta is in one of these vehicles here as they trail that procession there, heading to the Nyayo National Stadium. We'll try and just walk with them and see if we can match their energy and their pace as well as they go to Nyayo National Stadium. So that is the presidential motorcade there. President Uhuru Kenyatta somewhere in one of these cars here. You see that limousine there, the presidential limousine, that's actually where he is. So yes, it's a very slow movement here for good reason as well. That is a presidential limousine carrying President Uhuru Kenyatta in there, just at the roundabout of Uhuru Highway and Kenyatta Avenue as they head on to the Nyayo National Stadium. Let's just try to unmount the camera and try to follow them. Well, I'm not sure if we'll be allowed to follow the presidential escort or get anywhere close to it, but we'll try and see what we can do. And those are the pictures there live right now on Uhuru Highway as the body in the cortege of the late former president Daniel Moi heads on to Nyayo National Stadium for the state funeral service, the penultimate day of what has been 1 week of national mourning. And the body will be flown, of course, to Kabrak tomorrow morning.